2000 to date. I remember back then trying to use the internet cyber cafe, trying to browse the web and all that. It's been tremendously improved. Yeah, we are now in the fourth industrial revolution where you talk about artificial intelligence, virtual reality, AI, and all that. So technology has really evolved and shaping the way we think and the way we do things. Like formerly, nobody believed that Uber is going to work here in Lagos.
Yeah.
Because people think that okay,
Not
this
just in
Uber
Lagos, I
thing. I
think
mean,
around the
in
world.
yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
okay, even in Africa, Nigeria, people feel like okay, Uber can't work here. But now look at it, everybody, by the time you know what's up, everybody's just like trying to just run an app and just. But the thing is this: everyone thinks every problem can or should or would be solved with an app. But that's a wrong notion.
Okay.
But I believe technology is really thriving in this part of the world and it's going to really shape in a lot of things in the long run. Yeah.
You can already see some of the changes in banking, especially people who are
Fintech,
not
yes.
fintech exactly. People who are not as you know, because we can say that we're a third world country, obviously because of the poverty level.
Hmm.
Literacy is also obviously a big problem for technology. Some of it is quite sophisticated, and some people can actually use it. So you can't take away the gestation periods and the natural things that happen with technology. So the limitations are always going to be there. So for example, now
Hmm.
with mobile phones, even though there's so many applications that actually come out, because of the poverty level, people still have to use the press phones, and so there's very
Yes.
limited technology that can
Right.
actually go through that. So technology has its place, but there's still some natural things that we have to do in the environment as well to change things.
But in your opinion, though, in
Yeah.
a country of 200 million people, I mean, what would you recommend? I mean, how would you even recommend? I mean, that type of educational change comes to life.
I mean, you have to have as many um, virtual places to teach people basic things. I mean, like even if you're touch phone, you have to have a very basic way of what's it called, even if it's in pidgin, or you're using numbers to explain to people how to get through or how to learn certain things. But education is the key.
Okay.
Education is the key for everything, especially in this environment. And if you're going to see the kind of prosperity that is required here, you have to teach people on every single platform.
Well, talking about teaching people, I think this the way we're headed right now is to do more of online.
Okay.
Like everyone owns a mobile phone and everyone is probably connected to the internet. So you just have to train people virtually, like online. So aside from going to classrooms and trying to do the traditional means of teaching, if you can have everybody hop online to view or to get a slide or to get a video to view how to work things or how to get things done, I think it's a better way. It's a better way to get
Sure,
things done. Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about the product that you guys are involved with at the moment. It's called Fixed, right?
Right.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Okay, so fixed is a diagnostic sensor.
Okay.
I'm sure lots of mechanics have them as well. Some of them are really big boxes, but this particular one is an American product. It came into the market in 2017, you know, and still making some headway. But this particular product is a sensor. One of the interesting things about it obviously tells you how to read your vehicle. One of the reasons why we actually dabbled into it was, I mean, San Jose, was the fact that when you're in traffic, your primary source of in Nigeria, your primary source of transportation is your vehicle.
True.
Right.
Public transportation is terrible. Sure, no problem.
Let's
And
call
so
a spade a spade.
exactly,
you know.
and you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you need this vehicle to be intact. Now, your mechanic, not everybody is savvy with vehicles. You don't know the terms, and mechanics are always trying to find ways of making
Even
money
they
on
don't
this
know
thing.
it.
Exactly. And so, what this particular one does, there are other onboard diagnostic machines that you can actually use, but this particular one has an app, and the app is extremely user friendly.
Right.
It's broken down in such a way that you don't have to know anything about your vehicle. So just take let's say, the female executive, who
Hmm.
is very not interested in the details of the vehicle, wants to get from point A to point B, doesn't want a driver, she wants to be independent, wants to drive herself. Now
True.
she has to service her car. She needs to make sure, okay, that this car is going to last me for the next 1 year without stress. How am I going to get through this? Okay, if you have fixed, it teaches you about all the check-in lights that actually come up, when to service your car, when to change parts in your car, when to change your battery, your tires. Because you can't really, the issue that you have in this environment is you can't really stick to what's it called, a budget. If you, let's say, you're spending your cost, your what's it called, expense for the entire month is 200K, and the next thing you have a flat tire. The
Hmm.
next thing there's heat, your AC gets damaged. Next thing, there's a bump in the road and something that your radiator is damaged as well.
Yes.
Now, so all those things, those things are they're just facts within the environment. You can't really change some of them. But what this does is that it gives you an opportunity to plan. So if your car is critical, and that car should not leave the house, at least you know not to take it. You
Yeah,
can
it
take public
should.
transportation. When you have
Exactly.
the resources, you can sort it out. And so that's why.
Yeah,
That's why this
let me
product-
let me add on to what you just said now. Like most times we complain about this traffic in Lagos. There's so much traffic in Lagos. At the end of the day, you just notice that there's a particular car that has broken down one side of the road that is causing this.
A major gridlock.
It's really a bottleneck thingy already
Mm-hmm.
on default, but it's causing a major gridlock on that area. So if this car owner would have tried to not understand the car better, knowing that this car is not fit to be on the road, he or she is not probably going to take it out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But an idea of that, you don't even know the condition of your car. You just hop on it in the morning and you just start and just go out and cause inconvenience to other people, road users and all that. It's really terrible.
I like
So,
the fact that you actually said the inconvenience, because at least now if you know, because a lot of the time, also the traffic that you actually have is caused by these vehicles that just park up on the road. And now the
Right.
fact that people are buying second-hand vehicles,
Yes.
dealers don't tell you the
the
truth.
flaws with the
They
car.
don't tell you the flaws with the cars, where the cars actually came from, the kind
They
of
never-
terrain
they
it
never
came
do.
from. Some of the cars actually come into this country are not fit to be on these roads because of the heat. The change in season, the extreme weather conditions that we have here. They're not fit for this road. They just look, maybe they're like, let's say 5 years old, but those cars probably only last about 6 months on our roads. And so this sensor, as long as the vehicle was produced after 1996, it has an onboard diagnostic port where you actually insert it into.
Yeah.
As long as it can read it, it can tell you pretty much everything about your
very
car.
user friendly.
Okay, so it's quite the innovation. I think it's what a lot of Nigerians need here, because if you ask me, for the life of me, I only know how to change the water in my car. And
That's
get gas
fine.
in it, right?
That's fine.
That's all I need. That's all. I always say this. I like to be driven than to drive.
drive, right.
So I don't want to be. I don't want to be caught in all the details of other things. But what makes this fixed? What makes this device? What makes it more innovative than others?
Okay, let me comment there. So for the fact that you can really access the device through your phone, using your mobile phone, the interface, there's an interface that shows you, is well explained. It can show you all it is that you need to know. You don't need to go about trying to consult a mechanic before you can actually know what's wrong with your car.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
well detailed and it's well broken down. So that's the unique selling point about this product.
And then you have other diagnostic machines as well. They come with like a PDF document
Okay.
that explains that shows you the error codes, and then it's not as detailed. It's not as every car has its idiosyncrasies, and so you have to be very clear and specific about the actual error. And it gives you a brief explanation as to what it is. Then you now go to follow up and say, okay, let me go and check online and see what this actually does. But it gives you enough detailed information to make a decision. You can hold with this device. It's guaranteed that you can hold your conversation with the mechanic. Nobody can trip you up.
Right.
I like that. All right, we've got a few more minutes to wrap up this side of the show. So, Lagos, if you've got questions at this point in time, please jump in. 0809-444-0981 is where you can send your messages to. I've got Soji and Dozier in the studio. We're talking all about technology. Particularly, we're talking about this new device called Fixed. It's guaranteed, so to say, to sort the average problems of Nigerians on the road, yes?
Yes, everybody has scarce resources, and for us, it's not just about bringing products into the market that are not going to add value. This particular product at least gives you peace of mind.
Right.
There's no safety net in Nigeria, and so you need something to give you some kind of peace of mind. If I know that that with this vehicle, with this device that I have, I can plan. Gives you enough breathing space to plan. That's already something. It's small, but it's a big step.
All right. Before I let you leave the studio, though, because this talk is quite interesting. Social media has taken over the world, right?
Sure.
Is it like is there a place where people would like to see what the device looks like? People would like to know what it feels like. Is it a big device? Is it a small device? So how can people look for it and find it? Other things?
Soji can give us them.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we have an IG page.
Okay.
Yeah.
An IG page, and so that's at FixedNG on Instagram, and then you can give us a call 01631933736.
Yeah, and you can call me 08029463826.
All right. That said, though, let's talk about Christmas before I let you leave, real quick. So, Dirty December, there's, I mean, half and half, right?
What's
So,
Dirty December?
That's a good question.
Dirty December. People on your timeline
it's
just
a
say
time
Dirty
where
December.
where you just go wild now for December, right?
Oh,
But I mean, the first half of December is gone. So, I mean, two things, questions basically. How do you plan on spending the rest of this season? And also, I've been asking everyone I've met this year, what are the things that you're grateful for 2019?
ah, okay. A lot of things. For my side, it's a lot. It's a lot because I started the year in a very smooth note. At some point, it became very rough,
Okay,
and later it became
even better.
autopilot.
Not to find it.
So it's good. It's a good one. It's a good one.
For me,